So I'm on my way to what's known as the Levita train tracks. Now, the Levita train tracks are supposedly haunted by a young man in his 20s who was killed back in the 1940s. Now, I hope I'm heading to the right place because there's no, like, maps on how to get here. There's no real information. There's just the stories about the Levita train tracks. Now, I just turned onto Levita Street, and I had a friend who told me he knows where some tracks are on Levita Street, so that's where I'm heading to. So I guess we shall see. So here are some train tracks, but they look active. They don't look like they are, they don't look like something that would be like where a territorial ghost might live. But I did see just now there was a dumpster next to this building, which supposedly is the area that most of the ghost sightings have happened, near this dumpster. So I guess we're gonna find a place to park and walk to it. We're coming up on the train tracks, I believe. This is a long trip. Not a very ghost-filled place. I don't know how much I believe this story. I don't know how much I believed it to begin with, but it just seems kind of strange. I'm actually out on the there's the highway. Oh, I see them. I see the train tracks. Here we go. Okay, now I'm on the street that has the dumpster that allegedly this ghost is keeping as his territory. Which is a weird thing for a ghost to keep as his territory. Like, why a dumpster? There's tons of other things that you could keep. You know, haunt the, haunt the barn next to it. Like, why a dumpster? Maybe he was a garbage man in his life. And that's why he thought, this would make a good home. This is what I'm used to. This smell. It's like my favorite smell. Okay, so I'm right next to the building, which is on these train tracks. You can see it's on a road. Like, this is a very active road. Look, here comes a car. Like, here comes a, yeah, like, this is a silly place to haunt something. But this is supposedly where he's at. So, let's see what happens.
Okay. So I am on my way to a place called the Compound, sometimes known as the Grid. It's a housing community or a housing complex that was bought in the 1980s. And then in 1992, construction of the housing complex was halted because the company that bought this land went out of business. They went bankrupt. And so they got as far as clearing some areas, but they paved this whole entire area. It's about 12 square miles of paved roads. And what's crazy about it is there's no street signs, there's no stop signs, nothing. It's over 200 miles of road of which nothing is on. and there's some allegations of some ghosts being out here. So, sorry, I'm having a hard time seeing. Yep, here we are. Oh, I hate this place. So, I've been here a little bit just to do some research. Man, I hate this place so much. It's so dark. Oh, man, I'm not gonna... Oh, my gosh. I don't like this. So, there's been some deaths out here because... I'm just gonna rush through the story because I'm really scared. Oh, my gosh. There's a car.
You know, what's crazy about this is that, hang on. Mr. Ghosty! Mr. Ghosty! Mr. Ghosty! La Vita train tracks ghost. I'm touching on your, it's plastic. Are you kidding me? It's plastic. It's not even like, haunt the barn. Like, don't haunt a dumpster. Especially not if it's a new one. What, do you just re-haunt it if like it goes away? Like, do you just change out? Or do you go with the dumpster? Like, how does this even work? There's another car coming, so I thought I'd get out of there. Now see, this place looks like a place you would want to haunt. Look at that. 505 La Vita. Like, this place looks creepy as can be. Look at that door. It's got a lock. It's got a padlock on it. Look at that. Like, this is way creepier. What kind of dumbass ghost haunts a trash can when you've got a perfectly good, creepy looking building right here? I don't get it. Why do I have to teach ghosts how to ghost? Why? And there's houses right here. Come on, Mr. Ghost. You're not doing a very good job. You're doing yourself a disservice.
So I went into what is called the compounds, or the compound, or the grid, and I had to turn around because there's a sheriff's officer there waiting at one of the entrances of this place. So what I'm gonna do is tell you the story, tell you what I saw, and I know I'm terrible about this. I've said in several episodes, I've got pictures of this, and I never post the pictures, but I'm going to do some research. I'm going to come out here during the day, maybe. I don't know. But here's the story of the grid. So, like I said, it's this complex, or this housing community that was bought out and went bankrupt. Man, I am so happy I don't have to go back in there right now. I'm sure the cop, he didn't pull me over, thankfully. Or I haven't gotten pulled over yet. There is a policeman right there. So, area bought out, leveled or cleared out, paved, 200 miles of road. Nothing there. Just roads and grass and trees. Just nothing. And so a lot of people have used it as their place to go racing. People race cars, ATVs, dirt bikes, you name it. They're racing it out there. And there's been several cases of death out there. So that's where the ghost story comes in. As far as I can see, the research that I've done, the most recent accident that happened out there was this past August. This is October 2016. In August of 2016, there was a car wreck out there and 2 people died. So the story is that that the people that have died there, and those are they're not the only 2 that have died out there. The people that have died out there haunt this place. It's largely debunked because the allegations that are made against these ghosts is that they're shining lights, and there's orbs and spirit orbs and all sorts of stuff like that. But there's a lot of people out there. I say there's a lot of people out there. There can be a lot of people out there because there's no gates. There's nothing. I didn't see any no trespassing signs, honestly. But I do know that from the research that I've done that it is private property, and so you're not supposed to be on there. I think out there. I think in the past they've been lenient about people going out there and racing and stuff, as long as they're not a disruption. But I've got a car behind me. But obviously, I think that they're a little bit more strict than they used to be, because there's a cop car posted out front, sheriff's department posted out front, and then when I left, I turned around. I mean, not even a quarter mile after I passed the cop, I saw him starting to turn around, so I turned around and left. And when I left and came out just a paved street, there was a city officer out there. So neither one of them stopped me. I do have a car behind me, but like I said, a lot of times there's a lot of people out there, and so the allegations of the lights and the orbs of these dead people is debunked, because there are people out there shining lights and making noises because they're out there. Okay. I'm about to find out if this is another cop car. Which it is not. So I went out there a couple days ago, and it's freaky, y'all. I don't like being there. It sucks that I didn't get to get good footage, because when I went out a couple days ago, my camera crapped out on me and didn't get any footage out of it. And so I bought a new camera, and now I can't even get on there to film. I'm not gonna risk it. Not about to do that. Obviously, they don't want people on there, so I'm not gonna go there. But when I was there a couple days ago, I did see the site of at least 4 people that have died. There was 2 crosses that were lit up with Christmas lights, and then 2 others that had spotlights on them. And so there are some lights out there that are on all the time. I don't know if they come out and change the batteries all the time or what. But there have been people that have died out there, and the big risk going out there is if you're racing or if you're just driving fast. There's no stop signs anywhere, so people will be going down the road, turning, whatever, and doesn't see you around the corner and plows into you. So that's the big safety hazard there. The thing that was creepy to me about it is it's pitch black. I'm a wimp, y'all. I don't do scary movies. I don't do scary places. I'm not going to go to a haunted house. The thing that scares me about it is it's pitch black out there besides those little lights, and you don't see them because, it's 12 square miles. You don't see across the whole thing. But when you turn your headlights on and go down the road, it's so dark. If you make a turn down any one of these roads, you can't see what's down that road. And that freaks me out. I like knowing what's ahead of me in life, in walking and driving. I like knowing what I'm doing. So, and another thing is, the roads aren't marked as far as like on the street themselves or the road themselves. I think they may be marked on Google Maps. I'm not real sure how accurate they are or whatever, but it's really, really easy to get lost out there because there's no everything looks the same. It's just open nothingness. So that's the other thing, is going out there and getting lost. And if something were to happen, you get in a car wreck or fall into a ditch or whatever, you don't know where to tell people you are, because you say, yeah, I'm at the compound. Well, that's 12 square miles. Like, they could be searching for hours and hours and never find you. And so that's kind of creepy to me. The craziest story that I found online, I'll end with this story. The craziest thing I found online is that there was the people that went out there, and they were driving their cars at a high speed, and ended up losing control of their guitar, losing control of their car, and spinning. And I'm sure they were pressing on the brakes, but they were not stopping. They were just spinning out of control. And at some point, the car starts to stop. And it finally does come to a complete halt. And they get out, and they see that they are inches away from this ditch that would have swallowed them whole. This ditch would have killed everybody in the car, because it was just so deep, and the speed that they were going, they would have died. And so they go out the next day. They get home somehow, and they get out there the next day, and all of the tires on the car were blown, and that's what stopped the car. Like, I'll have to post in the description, like, the story. It was crazy. Like, there's no way this car should have stopped the way it did, but it did. And so they think, well, it was the ghosts of people that died out here looking out. I'm not much for a ghost person, but that's crazy. Anyway, yeah, that's my ghost story. The compound, the grid. out in Palm Bay, Florida. Kind of crazy. Super glad I didn't have to go in there. I went in there for, I don't even know, like 30 seconds, and I was not happy about it. So I am glad this is over. I don't have to go back to that place ever again. Bye-bye now.